Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to spend some time with me. Always grateful for that. And guys, today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite techniques that a lot of people don't do, and that's fishing a big oversized jerkbait in the month of May. In my opinion, these big jerkbaits like this megabass Kanata, it's the best bait to throw in the month of May as far as jerkbaits go. And so we're going to go over that and give you guys some advice and some tips on it. Might add up to some good fish for you guys this month. One of the things about this, guys, is like you've heard me talk a lot about jerkbaits on the channel, and if you followed a lot of the videos I've done, you know we talk about fishing little bitty small jerkbaits in the wintertime when the water's cold, and as the water gets warmer, we're moving up in jerkbait size. It's like I go for that, like the little megabass X80 in the wintertime, move up to like the 110 or the 110 plus junior in the pre-spawn. And during the month of May in the post-spawn, these big giant jerkbaits, this is the megabass Kanata, is the deal in May. And also guys, I'll link this in the description of the video. If you guys want to pick up one or two of the Kanatas after you watch the video, you can use that link that I'll put in the description here. But anyway guys, what happens, and this is what works for me in other words, what I've been able to do in the past 30 years. I used to do it with that big Rapala, that number 18 Rapala, which I think I've got one right here. I'll show you. Ready, but this is the original one that I started using before they came out with the megabass Kanata. Let me get it off of here. Dang, things are all caught up. This big saltwater Rapala here, I've got a bunch of them, and this is what I used to catch them on in May until the improved version of the Kanata. You can see the attention to detail so much better on this Kanata than the Rapala. That's unbelievable. But anyway, here's what you want to look for. Number one, you got to have the right set of conditions, and it's going to be working on, it will work on natural lakes because I've caught them on Lake Seminole doing it in the post-spawn too, but I prefer to do it on the man-made lakes that have some type of bluffy, steep rock structures on it. So what you want to look for is after these fish are done spawning, you know, in the month of May for the most part across the country, there could still be some fish spawning, but most of the spawn is done. A lot of these fish will move out of those spawning areas to the closest deep water, steeper banks on the outside of those spawning areas. So you can imagine if you know a cove where the fish were spawning, go to the nearest steep bank, preferably a bluff. Bluff's my favorite type of structures, or a channel bank, and get on those areas with the big jerkbait like this. Put it on, you know, you need a fairly stiff rod, like a 7-foot medium heavy action rod. I usually fish it on 15-pound test Seagar and Vizex line, and make long casts parallel down that bluff or the steep bank with this thing. And when you work it, this is not a deal where it's a suspended deal. You want to work it pretty hard. So throw it out there, go boom, boom, pause, boom, boom, pause, boom, boom, pause. Just a split-second pause, but you want to keep this thing jerking fast and hard through the water like that. Now with 15-pound test line, this Kanata is still going to get down to probably 7, maybe 8 foot deep on a long cast with it, which is perfect. If you keep your rod tip a little bit higher, it's not going to run quite as deep. But you need a combination of the steep bank, preferably bluff. You got to have water visibility of over 3 feet. Ideally, my preferred water visibility for this technique is sort of 4 to 5 foot visibility. And it helps if you've got some wind or clouds. Low light conditions are the best. So ideally, it would be like bluff bank, middle of May, water temperature 70 degrees, water visibility 4 feet, 15-mile-an-hour wind, and cloudy. That's a perfect scenario for it, but you can also catch them pretty good earlier in the day if you got some shade on those steep banks up until about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. But guys, it is a great way to catch them. I've caught a lot of big fish. I've caught a lot of numbers of fish. This thing, I've caught a ton of like 1.5 pound fish on this big jerkbait, and it lasts up until about June, and then it just goes away for some reason. But I just wanted to clue you guys in on that. Just pick up, you might just try one, pick one up, get out there on some bluffs if you guys got them, throw it out there on those bluff banks and see what happens. I mean, I've had days on that bait. In fact, last year I had one day where I probably caught 50 on it in one day. That's just when those fish are hungry. They're recuperating after spawning. They want to feed up after expelling that energy. They want a big meal like the big jerkbait. And it's just a really good way to catch them in the month of May. So hope it helps out. We'll see you guys.